Today we're going to be unraveling the tale of Team Cherry's Hollow Knight, how it was created, and what games inspired it. Hollow Knight took the gaming world by complete surprise in 2017, and quickly became one of the greatest indie video game success stories ever told, though some might be surprised to hear that it actually began in 2014, with the release of a game that only garnered 1 out of 10 stars. That game was Hungry Knight. Hungry Knight was developed by Ari Gibson and William Pellen for the Ludum Dare gaming competition. For those that don't know, Ludum Dare is a gaming development competition where you're tasked to complete development of a game that follows a certain theme that changes from year to year. The theme of Hungry Knight was 10 seconds. Hungry Knight featured a very familiar protagonist who in this game is just a hungry bug that needs to eat berries every 10 seconds in order to stay alive. The game had no real plot line other than to steal berries from your fellow bugs and fight to the death for survival. Though it lacked a lot of the polished execution and features that would lead to Hollow Knight's eventual success, it proved to be an excellent starting point as the two designers chose to push forward with the characters they created and explore the idea of a subterranean kingdom. Hollow Knight was made with Unity, and thanks to Gibson's experience in animating, they were able to produce a stunning 2D art style that meshed well with the development of their game. At the start, drawing inspiration from early NES titles like Zelda 2 and Metroid, Team Cherry knew that they wanted to set up a living, breathing world with tons of little secrets to explore. In an article interviewing Gibson and Pellen about the development of Hollow Knight, Gibson said the following when asked about what inspiration older games played for Hollow Knight's development. In those earlier games, there's a sense of the unknown, or at least of discovery, of not knowing what the extent of the game you're playing is. And maybe that was the lack of the internet at the time, but we were definitely trying to capture something of that when we were making Hollow Knight. The game just keeps expanding beyond what your initial expectation of it was. Emphasizing that sense of discovery, and giving players free rein to choose their path was incredibly important to the team, as they wanted to evoke a sense of wonder and reward exploration. They wanted the player to feel that at any moment, a new secret might be lurking just right around the corner. It was this desire to awake and incentivize that sense of exploration that became the basis for everything Hollow Knight would be built upon. Gibson and Pellen took to Kickstarter with their idea in 2014, hoping to raise the funds necessary to continue work on their game. After a few pieces of concept art and some early game footage, their campaign took off spectacularly, taking over $57,000 in funds, quickly soaring past their initial goal of $35,000. Originally slated for release in 2015, Hollow Knight's sheer ambitious scope grew beyond what the 4 members of Team Cherry could deliver that quickly. 2016 would come and go, with Team Cherry active on Kickstarter making community updates about their progress, to let fans know everywhere that they were still working diligently on the game. Finally, on February 24, 2017, Hollow Knight was released on Windows computers everywhere, and by November of that same year, Hollow Knight had sold more than 500,000 copies worldwide. Part of the reason for the successful sales was Team Cherry's philosophy to spread Hollow Knight's influence as far as it could go, preferring to reach as many fans as possible rather than make a quick buck or two on new expansion sales. This is why the game's price point is so low, to make it more accessible despite the amount of content that's crammed in this thing. And that decision turned out to be absolutely correct, as Hollow Knight's popularity exploded spectacularly in ways that most indie developers only dream of. One of the stretch goals that Hollow Knight's Kickstarter managed to achieve was development on the Wii U console in 2016. Unfortunately, as 2017 approached, the Wii U, for various reasons, was effectively a dead console. Development on the system was definitely possible, but it wasn't financially viable. So Team Cherry cancelled porting it to the Wii U and decided to move development over to the Switch instead. To make this happen, they teamed up with another Australian developer, Shark Jump Studios, but despite adding in more help, the Switch version of Hollow Knight was still delayed until early 2018. Within the first 2 weeks of release on the Switch, however, it sold more than 250,000 copies, finding a dedicated home on the mobile gaming platform that desperately needed a good Metroidvania. As of July 2018, Hollow Knight has sold more than 1,250,000 copies worldwide, and these sales figures are only expected to increase substantially thanks to the release of Voidheart and the future release of Silksong. From such a simple place, like a Ludum Dare gaming competition, to creating one of the most successful indie titles, Team Cherry's rise to the top of the gaming charts took only a few short years. And with the release of Silksong, hopefully this year, things look incredibly bright for this Australian-based developer. And I personally can't wait to play what they have in store for us next.